Now, these are dark times. There are rights and ways of thinking that we thought might not be challenged again, and yet we find they are. The rule of law, the universality of human rights, the protection of the way of our planet, which has suddenly become a huge issue for us, and the exploitation of labor and the cruelty that we see committed time after time against those who work and those who are exploited. And it's a question of how we respond. And I think, well, here are a couple of thoughts. They're just thoughts to share with you. First of all, I think we have to try to understand the forces that are at play and that are driving this danger and this almost such dark times. And for me, I go back to the 1960s, which were two very important things I learned. First of all, I was lucky enough to work on a television drama series, which had the task of telling contemporary stories, and we were drawn to social issues like homelessness, like poverty, like a time for women's rights when termination of pregnancies was illegal, and we told those stories, and we're drawn to the struggles of working class people, and that became our project. And the second thing that happened at the same time was the founding of a new left. It was it stood against both the Stalinism of Russian Communist Party and also the capitalism of the West. Neither Washington nor Moscow was one of its slogans. And I read there like I never read as a student, and read history and understood that our society is riven by one essential conflict, the conflicting interests between those who sell their labor and those who exploit it and profit from it. And that conflict will never be reconciled until there is a victory for the working class. So the need to tell the stories of working class life is not only because they have the best jokes and because they have the most human responses. It is because if there is to be change, it will come from the organized working class. So I think that's the first thing I would suggest to you in all humility, is that is the essence. We have to understand the essence of the conflict before we can begin to change it permanently. That's the first point. The second point is that how do we respond? And I guess every art form will have its own response. Song, music, fine art, architecture, everyone will have their ways of responding. Theatre. For films, well, I think there's one thing that we all share, and that artists all share, and that is to tell the truth. Because we are citizens as well as being, we would like to think of ourselves as artists. We are all citizens. And then to me, that transcends everything. We are part of this world. We are not observers from afar. And if we are part of it, then we are part of the struggle. And if we are part of the struggle, then how do we respond? We respond by telling the truth. That's our first requirement. Tell the truth. There's a great quotation by the American black singer Paul Robeson, famous man, great man, who was also understood the class struggle. And he wrote, if I can remember it correctly, artists are the gatekeepers of truth. They are civilization's radical voice. Great thought. We are civilization's radical voice. We don't have to compromise like politicians. We don't have to do deals. We look for the central truth as we see it and tell it.